All right, good morning, guys. Back at it with another MLB DFS slate. Our Bezos day was a success. Um, well, we went with Romy Gonzalez and we went with a couple of cheap White Sox bats, and they actually stepped up and beat a team that they should have beat. Vaughn had, what did he have, like 34? Gonzalez had a three RBI double, cleared the bases. That kind of helped us. Just overall good day. Gallon started a little shaky and then he started picking it up and won six, got the win. I like Vaughn got 28. Romy Gonzalez at 4% got 37. Everyone else did kind of fine. We talked about how much we had liked Toronto. They scored 7 runs, but Springer and Bichette did like nothing. Oh, and also the Atlanta guys went 0 for 7 against Oakland. But overall, it was a good day, great day, I should say. So, give me takeaways from yesterday.
Yeah, so it seemed like the whole industry was on the Braves yesterday from what I was reading and watching and, looking at data and stuff. I wasn't all that much on them just because I hate playing offenses in that park, but I get Emmys, Oakland, bad pitching, whatever, and it's the Braves. But I ended up on Riley Albies just to have a little sprinkle of exposure. They're both 20%, both zero bombed. Literally probably failed everyone yesterday. Um, like you said, Gallon was fine. He had probably the safest floor yesterday. That's why we chose him. He was between him and Senga. Senga, I mean, we just never play him anymore just because he always gets. If we would have played him yesterday, he would have got yanked in like the third inning. So you guys are welcome. Mikolas, I, I didn't know he had that in his bag. KC is really bad against right-handed pitching. We all knew that. Just didn't know he could actually go that far into the game. And 10 Ks is, I mean, sure. I think who else really got there? Oh, the Dodgers late chalk kind of got there. I mean, Hayward had 40 and Freddie hit a home run in like the eighth. Oh, and the thing that really tilted me was Tapia. He was like 15 to 20% and had 30, which I mean, I can't remember the last time he's gotten over like 20 fantasy points, but it is what it is. We min cashed, which was good for how many tickets we had yesterday. But today's more of a normal slate, normal entry day. So
Yeah, it's a smaller slate. It starts at 5:40. I'm a little excited for that because, yesterday we went on and on about other, I guess, pitching and other stacks. This is a little more cut and dry, kind of, not really. Pitching is cut and dry. So speaking of that, so this is what it's got right now. You got Hunter Brown, George Kirby, Aaron Nola, James Paxton, Clark Schmidt. Don't overthink it. Just play Hunter Brown. I mean,
I mean that's kind of what I'm seeing. He's projecting for near 40 on Ballpark Pal. Great K matchup against the Twins. He's at home. They're favored minus 180. I'm guessing his K prop is sitting somewhere between 5.5, 6.5. Kirby is also fine just because he's usually a 10K guy. So at 9,200, that's pretty nice. Yankees are hot, which is scary, and Judge just keeps hitting him out. But we do know this lineup, like, 5 through 9, usually you can stack up some Ks there. I don't really see much that I like past that. Nola, I just haven't played him all year. He can get there. I'd just rather not. I mean, if I can find the 600 for Brown in a better matchup. Paxton, I kind of like the Reds a little bit as minis today, so I'm kind of off him. Schmidt, never. Snell, he's kind of washed. Farland, I just don't like playing pitchers in single entry that aren't favored all that well going on the road against Houston. So And then Manoa, that's probably the lowest price tag I've seen on Manoa in like years. But he also has been playing so bad. So probably not going to play him. Wait and see type thing.
Guess Hunter Brown's strikeout prop on points, but I just looked it up.
7,
You're almost there.
7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're minus 180 favorites against Minnesota, which makes sense because Minnesota's booty cheeks. They suck. Carlos Correa is a bum. I can go on and on. Kirby, I guess. Like you said, though, Yankees are good. And Judge just keeps hitting home run after home run. Clark Schmidt, I can kind of understand. And he's only 12%. But I mean, if you just go Hunter Brown with a better matchup, Hunter Brown with a better matchup, I mean, it's all you need. You don't really need anything else. And it's funny because Kirby is projected to be higher owned than Hunter Brown. So why not just, save yourself a percent, go with Hunter Brown, pay up. You can still get some good bets.
I mean, in what universe do we think he gets below 34 today? I just think the
I'm
floor is
just
really
not
high. Like even at the start where he gave up 7 hits and 3 earned against the Sox and went 5 2/3, he still got you 38.
mhm.
Like I think his floor is somewhere in the low 30s today, and I don't know if any of these other guys can get you that nice floor, except for maybe Kirby. Nola, like I said, is just a risk reward type guy. Definitely has a long leash to get you 6 innings if you can limit the damage, but we know the Mets are either dropping 0 or dropping 10. So again, just tricky spot. Paxton, I just don't like the
He
price
was
tag, to be honest.
Paxton was like 10-2 last slate that he pitched. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, there's just no way I can play him with those guys around him. And I mean, Miami stinks, but Snell is also kind of stunk, so I'm off there too. It's basically just Kirby Brown. That's it for a single entry for me.
I agree. On to bats or stacks, I should say. Boston, Arizona, Toronto, Cincy, Philly. That kind of drops off over here. What's standing out to you right now? Who's number one? And don't you dare say Toronto. I think they need a
No, I
win.
I think the Diamondbacks are one for me right now, based on where they're projecting on Ballpark Pal. Projecting for like 5.2 run total or something, which is pretty good for their site. Boston would probably be a close second, then Toronto, then uh probably like some Reds minis just because of these price tags. Steer has been hitting the ball well the last week or so, 3,200 third base. McLean is hot, 3,400. They dropped Tyler Stevenson down to 2,600. Love that at first and catcher position. There was somewhere else I was looking at. Oh, they dropped some of the Boston bats prices. Like Duran, I think was like 36 or 37 yesterday. He's down to 31. I like that. Devers is 34 because he's cold. So you can play, 2-4-5 lefty between Yoshida, Devers, Duran. I like that a good bit if you can fit that. Um, D-backs, they fit good positions because you can play Marte at second, Pavin Smith outfield and first base. They got some good lefties, and Corbin Carroll's always fun. I think he had 37 yesterday, and Seabold, we know, is not very good. So D-backs, Boston, Toronto, some Reds guys. That's kind of where I'm starting. I can maybe consider some other sides of the games, like the Rockies on the other side of the D-backs game. So good leverage score here, 4.5%. Tommy Henry is pretty bad. They have some decent guys in the middle order. And then if you want to bank on Manoa still being terrible, you can play Milwaukee.
Yeah, something else I'd mentioned to you earlier is Carrasco hasn't been that great this year, and he's been giving up a bunch of hits. And I know Philly has been like, what's his name? Kyle Schwarber's been kind of crap recently. Trey Turner's been bad. The whole team in general has just been bad. But I mean, this could be like a bounce back spot, and maybe this gives them some momentum in a spot against Carrasco. Um, I don't know who this Louis Varland kid is, but Houston is like bottom of the stacks. And it's very interesting to me. I understand it, like, Boston, Arizona, Toronto, Cincy, they're in like better spots facing weaker pitchers. Louis Varland, I checked his fantasy points and he's been like average. Hold on, I'm gonna load it back up. His last start against Toronto, he had 22, May 20th, 27. His best game was against the Cubs at 41. And then like his worst was 20 against the White Sox. So I mean, I don't see the hype in him. I just and Houston, they're back home. I think this can be like a decent spot to get some minis on a couple guys. Um, hold on. Is he a righty? Can get to like Tucker. Oh, you can even get to like Altuve, Bregman, Tucker, Jordan if you wanted to get some minis of them. I'm just not impressed with this Varland kid. I think that the Astros can get to him a little bit. Um, I know Braxton Garrett's been kind of decent this year. I'm not really on San Diego much, but can get a little different with San Diego there. -4 leverage. No thanks. That's pretty much it. It's Philly, Cincy, Toronto, Arizona, Boston. Those are my five that I'm like pretty much to the top. Pretty much the top five on a stacks tool, and then throw in Houston. Milwaukee is interesting, and Manoa hasn't been that great this year. So, I mean, you can definitely get a little different and do that. But we all know how Milwaukee's treated us. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think the stacks here are a good way to get different. Like you can see the total ownership between, I mean, Boston projecting at 17 at the highest, but everyone else is like around 10% as a stack, which means, the top of the order guys will be like 15 to 20. Then the bottom of the order guys will be like 8 to 5. But like just play Hunter Brown or Kirby and then find your offense. I mean, you don't really have to complicate it more than that, I don't think. Um, D-backs, yeah, D-backs one for me. Boston because of the price tags dropped. Toronto, Reds minis, Rockies, and that's probably where I cut it off. And like you said, the Padres, they're getting about 10% ownership as a stack, but or negative 5% leverage. So that's probably somewhere I'm looking to avoid. But now I say that Soto and Tatis are probably going to go back to back yards.
yeah. It's something else that we've been doing a little recently is if you saw the lineup yesterday that we dropped, Romy Gonzalez, who was batting eighth for the White Sox, hit a home run and had a great game. Monday, we had Royce Lewis, who, to be honest, I have no idea who the kid is, but he is insane. And we played him at 2K flat, and he went nuts. So, I mean, you can have some one-off guys that are like low to mid 2Ks and save a little bit of extra salary to pay up for better bats. Knock on wood, that's been working for us. The last couple of slates is not always going to work out, but I mean, something interesting to think about. Like if Lewis is in the lineup today, he's probably going to be, he probably is 2K flat. Let's check.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the min price
Oh,
guys today, but that's been working for us recently. What is he, like 2.7?
2.8.
Uh, Yeah.
All right, disregard that totally, but you can find if you find guys like bottom of the order that aren't getting loved and you're just like, you know what, this is my one off, pay up for better bats for the stacks, go for that.
Yeah, I don't really see much down in this 2K range. And I'm scrolling through it. I mean, Ruff has been 2K all year and he stinks, but
How does he
that's
still
really
have the
it.
job?
Like, what I can pay the extra 600 and get to Tyler Stevenson in the 4 hole, who I know can mash the ball.
That makes a lot of sense. It's funny because Lewis has played like 3 or 4 games and he's already up to like 2,800.
Mm.
But that game that we played up, he hit like a 3 run home run at like 15% or something, so that helped. You
Yeah,
want
I've
to
heard
do
yesterday was what was really tilting. So we got the 2K and the min price guys come through. Like Bond was like 28 or something, and he had 30. But Bo Bichette at damn near 4K got left like 8 guys on base and in
I was
scoring
just
position.
I was just gonna say, yeah, he had like 7 or 8 in scoring position, then he decides to strike out or fly out. All he had to do is, ground ball, get it through the infield, at least one guy scoring. Springer had a good first inning where he ended up scoring, but it's also like that's all he did all game. And then after that, he was flying out or striking out.
Hmm.
Oh, and for a while, they didn't credit Romy with a stolen base. So I was getting tilted about that. There was just a wild pitch, and he just jogged to third. That technically is a stolen base. They didn't fix it for like a whole ass inning. So like I'm sitting there like kind of like watching the game and I'm like checking my phone like shit, did they credit him with it? I was about to message support and be like, dude, where's my like 9 points? And then they ended up like I had to do something at work and they ended up fixing it. So um you want to do home runs or generator?
We're getting home runs first.
All right, lead us in.
I'm gonna go back to the Dodgers here on the early slate. Gonna go Mookie after Freddie went yard for us yesterday. Then I'm gonna go to the other LA team, the Angels. Gonna go Hunter Renfroe, and then Tatis on the main slate.
I'm gonna go with my boys Soler and Muncy. They've been mashing the ball. It's more of Soler, but Muncy's a goat. And then I'm gonna go with Lane Thomas versus Syndergaard. Syndergaard's kind of washed, unfortunately. All right. Lineup generator time. So MLB DFS lineup generator. Fanduel main.
We can go back to a 4-3-1, and this worked for us yesterday. Just put all lineups, and then lock in Brown. At least use all the salary this time.
Yeah, right.
Diamondbacks, Houston, and then one off just with Springer. We aren't on Houston as much. I mean, you were, but the stack percentage wasn't. But I do like
Look at
those
how
tags, like
look
Tucker.
how not chalky this shit is. It's kind of
Yeah,
optimal, sort of. I don't really mind this. Then again, it's Houston bats. We play them, they get like 3 runs. We don't play them, everyone in the lineup gets a home run. So let's just say you wanted to skip. You can click save, you can save up to 20. All right, this one's more up your alley. India, Steer, Newman, Stevenson, Harper, the one off. I actually kind of like this. Not too bad. So what you can do, nope. And then what it is, so obviously Hunter Brown, we locked in 100%. Then the next highest stone guy that we have Like we got exposure to his Marte and Smith. So we got a lot of Arizona guys, couple,
Boston.
yeah, couple Boston, some Houston, and you just keep scrolling down. Oh, we got McLean, Stevenson, Newman, India, and then you can export to a CSV. So then if you can do that on your computer, and then that way you can enter 20 lineups into whatever. All right, finish this off. Anything we missed? Final thoughts? Give me something.
Um, yeah, just play Hunter Brown. If he screws us, he screws us. But he looks like he's got the nicest floor today. He also really isn't all that. I mean, for what he can get you, 10-5 is fair tag. If you don't want to play him, play Kirby, and then D-backs, Boston, Toronto, Reds, Rockies. And just go from there. Make sure to check out our lineup on the Twitter. It'll be out about 15 minutes before lock. And make sure to check out Stochastics Tools in the description and like and subscribe if you haven't already.